The Grinch might look like a fuzzy green beast, but there's a little glimmer in his eyes that tell us otherwise. While he might have a bone to pick with the holidays, most of us choose to give him the benefit of the doubt. After all, it's not easy being green. Watch until the end to find out which color the Grinch was supposed to be. First time at the things? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. Now, let's jump right into the evolution of the Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Today, we will do mean things, and we will do them in style.
How it all began. The Grinch is a story that's been told many times before, which can make it easy to lose sight of its original roots. Believe it or not, but Dr. Seuss's book How the Grinch Stole Christmas was first released on October 12, 1957. And after 60 long years, this story is still being told. The children's book tells the tale of a cynical and maniacal character who loves nothing more than crushing Christmas spirit. In this original masterpiece, we come face to face with a creature who looks forward to the holidays for very different reasons than the Whos in Whoville do. Instead of spreading joy and decorating his home with pretty lights and tinsel, he roams the streets at night to tear down Christmas paraphernalia of any kind. So in other words, this great grouch nips Christmas in the bud. Many of us believe that How the Grinch Stole Christmas is about the importance of celebrating the holidays and being merry. However, this isn't exactly the message that Dr. Seuss wanted to spread. Instead, he wanted to remind children and parents alike that Christmas is becoming commercialized and that presents have nothing to do with the holiday season.
I want golf clubs, I want diamonds, I want a pony so I can ride it.
The original plot. Anyone born in the 80s, 90s, and beyond surely remembers the hilarious movie How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This film was released in the year 2000, and its plot was rewritten to welcome actor Jim Carrey's powerful charisma. While writers and directors made sure to stay true to Dr. Seuss's original version, many changes were made. However, these altercations were mostly added to elongate the movie's screen time. After all, Dr. Seuss's book was only 69 pages long. As many of you surely remember, the Grinch's heart is 2 sizes too small, which makes it impossible for emotions like love and hope to settle in. As a result, the Grinch becomes a hermit who lives in a lonely cave on Mount Crumpet. It is here that he looks down at Whoville and sneers in disgust, knowing that December 25th is quickly approaching whenever cheerful noises start to emanate from the city center. In this book, the Grinch sneaks into the city on Christmas Eve and steals every last present in Whoville. He dresses up as Santa Claus and forces his dog Max to pull a sleigh filled with gifts all the way up to his lair. Unfortunately, Max is unable to carry out the task, causing the Grinch to get stranded midway up Mount Crumpet. As the sun rises, he waits for Whoville to be filled with cries of sorrow, but instead, his ears fill with Christmas carols. At this moment, he realizes that the Christmas spirit has nothing to do with presents, causing his heart to grow 3 times bigger. How the Grinch came to be. Most writers don't like to admit it, but their main characters tend to be based off of themselves. Luckily, Dr. Seuss is not like most writers, which is why he admitted that the Grinch was loosely based off of himself. However, this connection was only made after the book was written and released. On the day after Christmas, Dr. Seuss was brushing his teeth when he caught a glimpse of the Grinch in the mirror. It was then that he realized that he needed to rediscover the meaning of Christmas once more. Funny enough, his very own stepdaughter confirmed this notion when she stated that her stepfather was the Grinch during his sour moments, and the cat from The Cat in the Hat during his good ones. How the Grinch Stole Christmas started as a 32-line illustrated poem that went by the name The Hubbub and the Grinch. This rough draft was published in 1955, but was quickly revamped by Dr. Seuss himself. Within a few short weeks, the version that we all know and love came to life. Before we move on to the next fun fact, try this one on for size. Dr. Seuss was 53 years old when he wrote this timeless book. And he made sure to let his readers know that the Grinch was also 53 years old. After all, they were one and the same.
Okay, fellas. Showtime.
The animated TV special. How the Grinch Stole Christmas was such a successful book that director Chuck Jones jumped at the chance to create a TV special based off of its plot. This 26-minute special aired on December 18, 1966, and quickly became a holiday classic. The animated special stayed true to Dr. Seuss's original plot, which is why it only got 26 minutes of screen time. Regardless of this, the special hit home and continued to air every single year for decades on end. At the end of the short film, the Grinch risks his life to return the stolen gifts to Whoville, causing his heart to blow up like a balloon. The Grinch gives back all the stolen goods and gets invited in for a holiday feast where he falls in love with the real meaning of Christmas. The Grinch was voiced by actor Boris Karloff, who also narrated the special. Since the film's been adapted many times since, most millennials have never watched the original special, but it's never too late to cross it off our list. So if you're feeling up to it, why not kickstart your Christmas spirit by watching an old-school animated flick? Watch until the end to find out which color the Grinch used to be. You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. Most of us know the song, You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. However, we don't have the slightest clue of where it came from. Well, that's all going to change as of today because we're about to spill the Christmas pudding. The 60s were notorious for their musical adaptations, so it shouldn't come as a surprise to find out that the 1966 animated special came jam-packed with 3 amazing songs: Welcome Christmas, Trim Up the Tree, and You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch were added to the special, giving it that joyful cheer that we all know and love. Although Dr. Seuss had never intended for his children's book to become a musical masterpiece, he happily joined the special's production and worked on writing the classic lyrics. We don't know about you, but we have a hard time picturing How the Grinch Stole Christmas without these timeless hits.
I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here.
How Jim Carrey Stole Christmas. When Dr. Seuss created the Grinch, he never once expected his character to be interpreted in a live-action film. After all, the Grinch was a cartoon character for crying out loud. Well, thanks to technological advances, the 21st century made way for many on-screen possibilities. Turning into the Grinch wasn't a natural process, however, which posed a lot of problems for the production. Believe it or not, but Carrey's prosthetic makeup was so uncomfortable that he nearly lost his marbles. In the end, a Navy SEAL had to coach poor Carrey on how to maintain his composure despite feeling like he was being tortured. All in all, Carrey and the cast spent a minimum of 1,000 hours in the makeup chair, which would surely drive anyone mad. To make the movie's filming schedule worth it, a bulletproof script was written and perfected. The original plot was cast aside except for a few key parts, and a new one was instilled. This turned a 26-minute movie into a 110-minute film and helped amass a total of $345 million worldwide. So how does Carrey's live-action Grinch differ from the original? It's quite simple, really. Carrey was given full freedom to improvise his lines, and a love interest was inserted into the plot. Before How the Grinch Stole Christmas aired, the Grinch had never been in love with anyone, let alone a Who from Whoville. Characters like Martha May and the mayor of Whoville were added in to give the movie more substance. On top of that, the Grinch and Cindy Lou were made to have an even better relationship, one that helped his heart grow 3 times bigger. All in all, this live adaptation gave the Grinch a backstory and helped us understand how he came to be such a cynical person.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Grinch.
How Cindy Lou helped save Christmas. Cindy Lou might have been a secondary character in the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but her role was given a newfound purpose in the 21st century remake. In this live-action movie, Cindy takes pity on the Grinch and desperately tries to integrate him into her community. Instead of meeting him in her home on Christmas Eve like Dr. Seuss's version so classically states, she sees him for the first time at a post office. Afterward, the brave little Who climbs up Mount Crumpet to invite him to Whoville's many Christmas festivities. In this film, it's clear that Cindy Lou helps the Grinch see the holidays through a new lens. In the end, it's Cindy's determination that stops the Grinch from stealing Christmas. Sure, Martha May's love might have helped the Grinch come around, but it was little Cindy's friendship that enlarged his heart in the first place. As the decades go by, it's clear that the Grinch is becoming a more lovable character. While he might have scared children in the 50s and 60s, he's lost most of his evil energy and taken on a new light. How Jim Carrey's humor changed the way we view the Grinch. When a character has little to no personality, it's easy to make judgments on their part. For this reason, many of us thought the Grinch to be an evil being who didn't care about anything or anyone but himself. When actor Jim Carrey donned on his Grinch suit, however, he changed the way the world viewed this yellow-eyed monster for good. Directors gave Carrey full creative freedom, which allowed him to improvise his roles. By doing this, he added his wit and charm to the character, making him lovable. Who remembers the classic line, "6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again." Well, this is just one of those lines that Carrey coughed up on the spot. All in all, Carrey painted the Grinch in a sorry shade, and it did not make us green with envy. Instead, it filled our hearts with pity for the self-loathing character. The latest adaptation. Dr. Seuss's undying character, the Grinch, will always have a place in our hearts, which is why he's coming back to spread some holiday cheer in 2018. The animated film The Grinch recently hit the big screen, and its graphics are said to be the best ones yet. Although the storyline doesn't stray too far from the 1957 children's book, some notable changes were made. The Grinch, who is voiced by actor Benedict Cumberbatch, catches wind that Whoville plans on making their Christmas celebration 3 times bigger than last year's, which causes the Grinch to plot against them. To successfully do so, the Grinch kidnaps a reindeer and heads to Whoville on a sleigh, where he is later confronted by Cindy Lou, who wants nothing more than to meet Santa Claus. The latest flick is loaded with new and hilarious characters, making it a must-see. What the Grinch was originally supposed to look like. The Grinch we all know and love is as green as an avocado, but in Dr. Seuss's original book, he was illustrated in black and white. The Grinch also had some hints of pink and red attached to his person. However, when it came time to produce the TV special, producer and director Chuck Jones had another idea in mind. After renting a car that was painted in the most awful shade of green he had ever seen, Jones began to envision the Grinch in the same light. After pitching the idea to Dr. Seuss, Jones got the okay to change the Grinch's furry coat from white and black to green. And it's been the same color ever since. So, are you surprised to see how much the Grinch has changed throughout the last 60 years? Because we sure are. He definitely became more real as time went on. Let us know if you've seen the original TV special in the comments below. If not, feel free to tell us which Grinch movie was your favorite so far. We can't wait to read your comments. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on The Things.